What is up, guys, and welcome to another edition of Marauders, beating the market one trade at a time. For you, Marauders investment channel helps you find the best deals in the market. If that's something you're interested in, stay tuned. All right, so today I'll be going over my top EV companies that I think everyone should be watching. EV being electric vehicle. It's this kind of niche that's kind of taken off in 2020. Now, electric vehicles aren't new to the scene. There have been plenty of electric vehicles in the past, but as 2020 has, began, we've seen the birth of a lot of EV companies come to the scene or come to the forefront. So this is my synopsis of the top ones that I think everyone should be looking at. First things first, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Definitely helps the YouTube algorithm and help promote videos like this so that everyone can figure out which EVs they should be looking at to potentially add to their portfolio. All right, so the first one on here, we got ticker sign WKHS, and that is for Workhorse Group. So on the time of this video, the moving average 10 is $22.98. Moving average 50 is $22.83, and the moving average 100 is $24.13. They ended the week at $23 even, so pretty good metrics as far as that's concerned. So they are bearish, denoted by the moving average 10 being below the moving average 50 and the moving average 100. They saw a drop off, VWAP dropped off, as well as the moving average 10 line dropped off. And the way that I judge whether something is bullish or bearish, I always follow the moving average 10 line. And see if it goes above the moving average 100 and the moving average 50, then I'll say yes, it is bullish, and it's beginning its bullish trend, which means that it's going up. If it is below both or in between both, then I'll say it is bearish. So that's just the way that I read charts. You may have a different method or a different way, but that's just how I personally do it. So Workhorse is the first one. On the channel, I like to give some background information to show people what they do or what the stock is, so they can get a good insight on what's going on. Also, bear in mind that depending on when you watch this video, the stock prices will change because this is based on when the market is closed. So whatever time you watch this video, just go back and check the stock to see what price it is. So this is Workhorse, is on their website. They make electric vehicles, so electric, I guess vans or delivery vehicles of that nature. And this is their C series. So they have the C650, C650, and then the C1000. So this is the C650, and this is the C1000, which is a little bigger than the C650. So that's just basically that. These are the dimensions for both of them. If we go through here, we can see the battery. Both have 70 kilowatt hours and both have a 100-mile range. Both have a top speed of 75 miles per hour, which they say is limited. And they both weigh the same. So the only difference is the overall shape and dimension of one is bigger than the other, which that being the C1000 being bigger than the C650. So definitely keep your eyes on them. One of the catalysts that I know investors are looking for, especially myself, is that there was talks of a deal between this company and the USPS, which is the U.S. Postal Service, potentially having a huge deal to slowly start to convert all the mail trucks to these electric vehicles using this company. So if that deal actually happens, that's going to be a huge catalyst to propel this stock moving forward. And it'll be way more than the current price that it is now. So I think investors are still waiting for that news to come down the pipeline. And it will be something that I know will be in the forefront, especially during a Biden presidency. So if Biden wins, I know they have, talks about going green and efficiency and, renewable energy. So this company is definitely, or all these companies in general, are definitely going to be on the forefront of that if there's a Biden presidency. But I wouldn't count them out if President Trump wins the election. I wouldn't count any of these companies out, but I would still, keep a close eye on them. So going into the next one, we got ticker sign NIO, and that is for NIO. So we're looking at the chart right here. We can see that they are bullish, denoted by this moving average 10 line being above the moving average 50 and the moving average 100 line right here. So their moving average 10 is $28.50. Moving average 50 is $26.19, and the moving average 100 is $23.91. So they ended the week to this week at $28.33. So let's jump into some background information from them. Now, this company, this is a Chinese manufacturer company, so they work a little different compared to the U.S. So you can't, basically base them off of the movement of the U.S. So, U.S. politics and things of that nature don't really affect this company because it's not U.S. based. It is traded in the U.S., but it is not a U.S. based company. So just bear that in mind when you're looking at these other metrics. All the rest of the companies in this review are going to be American-based companies, but this is the only one that is Chinese-based or non-American based. So just going to go over just a recap of their delivery update in third quarter 2020. So they delivered 4,708 vehicles in September 2020, increasing by 133.2% year over year. They delivered 12,206 vehicles in the 3 months ended September 2020, increasing by 154.3% year over year. They delivered 26,375 vehicles in 2020 in total, increasing by 113.7% year over year, and began deliveries of the EC6 in late September 2020, and cumulative deliveries of their ES8, ES6, and EC6 as of September 30th, 2020, reaching 58,288 deliveries total. So, they're pumping out these vehicles at a pretty increased rate, especially considering all these are year-over-year dates, and these percentages are very high as well. So they basically, have doubled the amount that they've done in their prior year, which is good as far as the growth of the company. So just going to go over one of their vehicles they have. This is EC6, so this is one of their newer ones that they're starting to deliver. So that was the outside of it. This is what the inside of it looks like. To me, on the outside, it kind of looks like a Mazda. So it looks like Mazda design, but it is electric. So it almost looks like a mix between a Mazda and a Urus, Lamborghini Urus to me. So kind of mix between those two. The lights and this trim right here, I would say, are kind of Lamborghini Urus remnants, in my opinion. But the overall, design of it is a lot smoother than the Urus. So I would say that's kind of more Mazda-esque. So this is the vehicle, and just going around. They come in a lot of different colors. Just continue scrolling. This is the inside. So this is kind of your assistant. You can talk to this assistant that comes in all of their vehicles, and it will pull up maps and things of that nature. I'd advise everybody to go on YouTube to look up videos of it. But overall, it looks like it's a pretty high quality vehicle, and definitely something that, I think the people of China are lining up to get in droves. So that's NIO. Going to the next one, we got ticker sign HYLN for Helion. Now, Helion is newly traded, so it's newly been introduced to the market. They had a merger with another company, an acquisition company, so they just recently became public, and definitely keeping my eyes out on them. So their moving average 10 is $26.88. Moving average 50 is $27.64, and the moving average 100 is $28.81. So they ended the week at $26.83. So looking on here, they are bearish, denoted by this moving average 10 line being below the moving average 50, which is the purple, and below the moving average 100 line, which is the yellow. So looking at this, they are bearish, denoted by both of those metrics. So just bear that in mind. No pun intended. So going into some background information on them, this is the company. This is their website, Helion. Just a small little video of what they're doing in the truck driving. So we're going to go to, they have two different type of trucks. There's the Hypertruck ERX, which is their fully electric Hypertruck. And then they have the hybrid electric truck. So it's basically like if you have a truck, you can get this system put onto it. So you'll have a diesel slash electric vehicle that is like a conversion kit. So very interesting technology surrounding the company, and I think very interesting design. It is low cost, but one of the things that I like about the company, and that I think we'll catch on, is this hybrid electric portion. So you can actually take an existing truck and convert it to their hybrid electric without much work done to it, or you can buy the Hypertruck ERX truck itself. I see people more realistically buying the conversion kit just to save a little bit on gas and use the electric capabilities. So definitely, one of the only manufacturers on this list that actually has a conversion kit for existing vehicles instead of making a vehicle from the ground up. So going to the next one, we got ticker sign NKLA, and that is for Nikola Motors. Now, Nikola Motors has been struggling quite a while. All the different allegations going on with their former CEO, Trevor Milton. So there's a lot of stuff going on with the company, but it definitely has affected the stock price. Their moving average 10 is $19.91. Moving average 50 is $22.86. The moving average 100 is $23.76. They ended the week at $19.70, but I still have them on the list because I think they have a lot of promising products. And then overall, company-wise, I think if they can find a good strategic move forward, then they'll be prized for a good growth as far as the company is concerned. Now, this is Nikola Motors. They have like off-road vehicles and jet skis and things of that nature. This is the grid that they're trying to build. This is one of their trucks. And if we go on here, we can see they have the Nikola 1, Nikola 2, Nikola TRE, Nikola Refuse, and the Badger. For power sports, they have the Nikola NZT, the Reckless, and the Nikola WAV. So pre-orders are out for the Badger, which is supposed to be their electric truck. So look forward to that. They do have, or I think they still are having, Nikola World, which is supposed to be sometime in December. But this is the major catalyst, this article right here. So it says General Motors receive 11% ownership of Nikola and right to nominate one director. General Motors seizes growth opportunity with Nikola to boldly move into broader markets with hydrotech fuel cell and Ultium battery systems. So General Motors receives $2 billion equity stake in Nikola in exchange for certain kind contributions. General Motors to engineer, validate, homologate, and build the Nikola Badger, which is a very big move for GM in general for both battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicle variants as part of the in-kind services. Nikola anticipates saving over $4 billion in battery and powertrain costs over 10 years and over $1 billion in engineering and validation costs. General Motors expects to receive in excess of $4 billion of benefits between the equity value of the shares, contract manufacturing of the Badger, supply contracts of battery and fuel cells, and EV credits retained over the life of the contract. General Motors to be executive supplier of fuel cell globally outside of Europe to Nikola for Class 7/8 trucks, providing validation and scale in multi-billion-dollar total addressable market. Badger is anticipated to enter production by the end of the year 2022. So there is no time soon for this to actually be in production. So by the end of 2022 is quite a long time for this truck to actually be production ready. So you're putting your pre-order in now in hopes that this that by end of 2022 that you will get your vehicle. So that is a very long time to begin pre-orders, and I think it was very premature, especially considering how far they are in the stage of the truck. Now, that's not saying that the truck won't be made, but 2022, especially considering that they have no other vehicles that they're selling, it's kind of a gamble to put that out there. But they are a newer company. Manufacturing has to be done. These different deals with companies like GM and other companies have to be done in order to get their feet off the ground. But I think, starting pre-orders now, when you have like over a year or way over a year in production, is very iffy for me. So I think, if they can start producing other vehicles, like some of the ones that are on their website sooner than they can start this Badger, then I think it will definitely help the company. And also, if they can produce a lot of that infrastructure stuff that they have on here, I think those will help the company as well. Despite the allegations with the whole Trevor Milton situation, I think the company still has promise to continue going forward. I think they have a good base. They have a lot of good board of directors, a lot of people with good experience, and I think the company as a whole is poised to come back despite what's going on with that situation. So interested to see how they perform in the future and what effects GM will have on manufacturing for the company. So lastly, we're going to go into the one that is most popular, most well known by everybody, and that is Tesla. So their ticker sign is TSLA. Looking at the chart, their moving average 10 is $446.90. Moving average 50 is $450.70, and the moving average 100 is $442.45. So going to press release from them, this is just their press release website. So they are announcing their third quarter 2020 will be coming up, and that is going to be on Wednesday, October 21st. So look forward for that. And then they had Battery Day. Battery Day was pretty interesting. They did come up with a new battery. They're talking about using lithium in different fields. I think they said in Nevada they're going to be digging up some lithium and partnering with another company to do that. So they have a strategy to make the batteries more efficient, and they're also making their factory processes more efficient as well. They also had talks about possibly making a $25,000 electric car in the future. So those were some highlights from their Battery Day. Now the stock went down after that because the projected time frame for that was quite a while, but I do have more faith in a company like Tesla, considering that they do have vehicles out on the road currently, unlike Nikola. So when they make lofty goals and lofty suggestions for their timeline, I think that is a more realistic value. And I think I would rather hear the company say that they have a longer timeline than a shorter timeline. Because if they meet the deadline that they're talking about, then that's good. But if they make it before, that's also good as well. For a company like, Nikola Motors, who has pre-orders now for a product that's not going to be shipped until 2022, that just raises red flags, in my opinion. But for a company like Tesla, if they were to do the exact same thing, then it wouldn't raise red flags to me because they also have vehicles out there that are on the road that you can see have been produced and what they're capable of. So going into an article on here, just talking about vehicle production, the Model S and Model X, they had 16,992 produced, and deliveries 15,200, which is a 13%, subject to operating lease and accounting. Model 3 and Model Y, they had 128,044. Deliveries were 124,100, 7% to operating lease accounting, for a total of 145,036 in production and 139,300 in deliveries. So pretty good numbers. as far as deliveries, and the Model S, X, and the Model 3 and Y are concerned, it looks like there are way more 3s and Ys being produced and delivered than S's and X's. But I think people like the cars in general and will continue to buy them as time goes on. So that's my list for EVs that I think everybody should be watching, everybody should be looking at for the future. So drop a comment down below. Tell me if there's some other EVs that you guys would add to the list, and let me know which EVs you guys like the best. So good luck to everybody out there trading this week. I hope everybody's able to lock in profits, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.